Warning. Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. Barry and I should have kept using it. His name is Barry, my name is Harry. We're twins. Special kind of twins. Although we're born the same day, we're nothing alike. He's taller than me, smarter than me, faster, stronger, in short, better. He has the presence of a great stallion, his body is large and firm, but his hair is soft and blonde. His voice is as deep as his ideas about life and the meaning behind it. He would always ramble on and on about his favorite philosophers, theories, and conspiracies. His students were the real sucker for his charms though. They would always listen to him attentively inside the classroom, and sometimes even inside his bedroom. I, on the other hand, am a streamer. I play video games. With the magnificent presence of a broke 29-year-old. I'm not regretting it though. I love what I do. It makes me happy and it makes me feel content. What I don't like is how it doesn't make the people around me happy and content. In comparison to my twin brother, my life would seem more non-traditional, but my parents would always prefer to use the term pitiful. My brother and I weren't always the sun and moon though. There was a time that we were like two peas in a pod, and like I said, a special kind of pod. We discovered the trick by ourselves. One time when we were 7, we ordered different flavors of ice cream. It turned out that I wasn't the biggest fan of mint chocolate. Ugh, this doesn't taste very good. Ooh, dude, I don't like it either. You've tasted mint chocolate before? No, not until now. Wait, you're tasting mint chocolate now? Yeah. But you ordered strawberry. We were in shock back then, it was like magic. We continued to experiment with our newfound ability. I was able to taste what he was tasting even if we're miles apart, but only if he would let me. I could do the same as well. And it made us feel very cool. We could also feel the food as well, how tough the steak was, or how hot the ramen is. It was our own little secret, and our own neat party trick. As we grew older, the more we developed our ability. Soon, we were able to send out what we could hear to each other as well. We would often use it for silly things like having to listen to cringe porn noises or cheat on tests. We would whisper to each other the answers even if we're spread across the room, and the strict grumpy old teachers were none the wiser. After college, we drifted apart. We decided it was best to live our lives separately and we never used our little magic trick ever since. So, you could imagine how it was a big shock to me when he suddenly came to my apartment, suit drenched in rain, asking for help. It's Martha. Jesus Christ, Barry, I told you to stop doing this shit and date someone your own age, I frustratingly answered. They're of legal age, okay? Besides, that's not the point. Then what is it? She's been stalking me, Harry. She leaves hundreds of messages and I blocked her, but fuck man. His hands started shaking yesterday. I found my front door unlocked. His mouth started to quiver. I could tell that he was shouldering this for a very long time, since not more than 5 minutes of us talking about it, his eyes were already starting to swell. Hey, look, I sat beside him holding his wet hands as tight as I could. We'll find a way out of this, alright? We can check in with the police to see what they can do. Yes. Hey, alright. Just don't expect that you'd still be teaching in the university after all of this is over. I don't care anymore. He looked into the distance. He gladly thanked me for being there for him. We shared a warm hug before he got up and went home. Hours passed by and my ears began to tingle. It felt like ages since I last felt that sensation. It started out soft but gradually echoed, louder, and louder, until I could hear it. My brother's voice, shouting, "Harry, she's here, help." I was in the state of panic, stuttering while calling out his name. I was only in my boxers when I started sprinting from my bedroom towards my front door. I fumbled to get my car keys and started to dial the police. When I got to the car, I started to shout. I started to use the link again, almost forgetting how. "Barry," I shouted out of nowhere, "I called the police to your place. Lock the doors, hide. Harry in a whispering voice, I heard my brother as if he was just beside me. She's not alone, there's a lot of people downstairs. Barry, I'm driving as fast as I can. The police are coming your way. Nothing. Every minute of not hearing his voice felt like an hour. Barry, I called out once more. Nothing. When I reached his place, it was too late. The police were all around his house, but they weren't alone. A couple of fire trucks were parked and were hosing down his burning house. I tried to run past the police line before I fell on my knees, shouting his name. He's found dead inside his house, the police told me. They showed me his body, burnt to a crisp. I thought to myself how I couldn't see his smooth hair anymore, his cheeky smile, his eyes. My brother, gone. Not a day passes by that I don't blame myself for what happened. If only I was faster, maybe I could have gotten there in time. If maybe I was smarter, then I could have instructed him on what to do and not fumble like an idiot. I blame myself for not being able to save him. But I can still do. I'm the only one who knows the facts, and every day I beg the police to help me. I need to find Barry. The body they found wasn't him. Because till this day, my ears would randomly tingle. To the sound of crows, the sound of crickets, the sound of chains, and my brother's muffled cries for help. But the thing that keeps me up every night is the raw and bloody taste of whatever they've been feeding him 3 times a day. I regret buying this VHS tape. I've been collecting VHS tapes for years. I spend thousands on rare VHS tapes. VHS tapes from creepypastas, scary stories, or lost VHS tapes are my favorite. So when I found an old VHS tape at my local thrift store labeled Playtime at Patricia's, I was curious. Especially because it had the words "destroy at all costs" on it. How much is this? I asked the employee. He gave me a shocked look. Katrine, why didn't you throw that away? He screamed, facing the back. He sighed. You don't want that? He said. Yes I do, I screamed. He sighed and gave me the okay to keep it. I loved the thrill on buying these and popping them into the VCR. When I got home I pulled out my VCR and popped it in. The tape started with around a minute of static until the picture of a little girl appeared on the screen. Are you ready for the girl screamed before falling down? 100 kids' voices screamed Playtime at Patricia's. The sound was so loud and annoying. It made my ears bleed. The intro was extremely low quality. It had horrible editing and a kind master watermark in the corner. Why would they let this air on TV? Maybe this is why they said to destroy at all costs. The show continued. It showed a little girl brushing a Barbie doll's hair before doing a 360 head turn and saying, "Hi kids, I've been waiting." She had an old woman voice. It was very scratchy. Do you want to play? Her voice dragged on. It felt never-ending. She paused for a second. Good, let's go on an adventure, she shouted, standing up and walking out of the nearest door. I like adventures, especially when I get to spend it with my friends, she said as she grabbed the hand of 10 small children. The screen turned to static. The static lasted for 10 minutes. I leaned over to take the VHS out when the video continued. A loud scream could be heard from the static. It made me jump. I fell back and looked up at the TV. Patricia was holding hands with the 10 kids in the middle of a wooded area. The wooded area behind my house. She looked over at the kids and said, "Just turn off your TV. Just turn it off." The kids looked up at her confused. "What do you mean, Patricia? We were going to play." One of the kids said, sad. "Tell mommy and daddy bye-bye," Patricia said as a tear fell down her cheek. What? The kids screamed. The kids started crying as a giant black figure emerged from the woods. The figure grabbed the kids and shoved them down its mouth. Patricia began crying, whispering, "I'm sorry," as the VHS tape stopped. I was in shock. It was so creepy. I thought it must have been a creepy film until I googled the show. Playtime at Patricia's show sued for disappearance of kids. Parents sent this VHS. I was one of the people owning these VHS tapes. I went to sleep but couldn't. The next morning I went to check the article. It was gone. All I had was a website. They're a group dedicated to investigating the case.